But that email that I sent out, it's got a link there. When you click on that link, it opens up like a spreadsheet, then you have to insert a row. It's just like an Excel spreadsheet online, so I don't know how it works.
I may go because the 501st Legion is going to be there.
Yes.
Star Wars thing, they're going to be there, so I might go. Bring my board.
I'll be there from 9 to 11.
I was trying
It's not gonna be an all
Yeah,
day.
there's another event.
Yeah.
On that Saturday, so it'll be the afternoon if I go.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's what I said to you.
What do you have to do, Joel?
Usually I just watch the high school students, so because I used to be part of the girl team when I was in high school. I just demonstrate
You just crack the whip on them.
because I was in high school, I used to actually have to talk and do stuff. Now that I'm an adult, I
With the record, casually.
My bed girl's not working.
Oh my God.
Well, let's open up TIA portal. We'll go ahead and do some stuff here.
Do you submit instructions?
Create new projects. Yes.
Is this something we're gonna have to save when we get our flash drive?
No, there are some steps though that,
You're
I don't know if you want to take notes or something. There are a few steps that you have to go through to get through this stuff. Does everybody have this screen open right now? Okay. TIA, what's it called, V13? TIA V13.
I've got Carter and Taylor on mine.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna have.
There might be some projects that we're gonna create and do it here in just a second. So there's, in TIA portal, if you look over on the left, I think a lot of it's grayed out right now, it's kind of hard to see. These are the things that you can do in TIA portal. You can set up devices and networks. You can do your PLC programming, motion and technology. That's pre-drives type stuff. Visualization, your HMI stuff, and then all line diagnostics where you set up your drivers for communicating with us with PLC. Down at the far left, bottom, see it says project view. Click on that where it says project view down the bottom left. So it takes us over to this other area, right? There's project view and portal view. If you look down there again on the left, it says portal view. Portal view is kind of a step-by-step, like quick start guide to get you started. You can do everything in project view that you can in portal view. Portal view, though, it's the user-friendly piece of this thing. So let's go back to portal view. And we're going to create new project. You guys at BMW, are you familiar with TIA portal? Oh. And just name it your last name. We're not going to save these today, but it will save something on there. So click the create button. But is everybody here?
Yeah.
All right. Keep that up here. And you see it steps you step by step by step. So we're going to configure a device. We need to add new device. And let me know I need to slow down. Add new device. And then you have two options, controllers and HMIs. We're gonna go ahead and add in our controller. So click the controllers button. Expand the Somatic S7-1200 folder, CPU, and these are all the catalog numbers for the S7-1200s. But while we're here, let's take a look at this. And something you want to make note of is we use the 1214C, DC, DC, DC. That's the one we use. But you also have these other options, the 1214C DC, DC relay. You see that? Then you have the DC, DC relay, then the DC, DC, DC. Here's the significance of these characters here. The first there, where it says DC, that's the power supply voltage. That's the supply voltage for the PLC. So when you see this on a test, you'll know exactly what it is. The second part of that are the type of inputs. It's the supply voltage. The second part is the type of inputs. What do you think the third part is?
Outputs?
Yeah.
So everything we're doing with the supply of DC, inputs of DC, and outputs of DC?
Yeah, yeah. So we use the DC, DC, DC. Go ahead and expand the CPU 1214C, DC, DC, DC. And we use the last one on the list, the 1AG40. Click Add. Go ahead and select it, click Add. Some of you are going to like this a lot better now than around. And
We need to be plugged into the controller.
here in a little bit, yeah, we'll pull it down a little bit.
I added, but it's still a bit buffering.
It is a little bit slow.
You guys ever good?
We need music with the waiting.
Is everybody here at this point? Okay. You notice it took us over to the project view, is what it did. Click on, yeah, you see that it says down on the bottom left, it says portal view.
Yeah.
So you can flip back and forth between the two.
Well, portal view just took me back to the, where I
Yeah,
add new buys, that kind of thing.
that's right. That's right. Let's, while we're here, let's zoom in on the PLC. I think you can scroll, control scroll will do it, or you can use that little slider down the bottom right. And scroll all the way in, and you see it already sets up the tags for you. It's the addresses for the I/O. How many inputs do we have? Yeah.
16?
Count. Yeah, we have 8. Of course, we have in byte 0, we have 8. In byte 1, 6. And outputs, how many outputs do we have?
10.
Yeah. And you see how they have them addressed by byte, depending on the byte number. And I want to, you guys can just stay right there for a second. I want to talk about the rack and how it's laid out a little bit. So the S7-1200, this particular one, it can support 8 I/O modules, there's 8 expansion slots on the right. And then on the left, there's 3 slots over here, 101, 102, 103. These are reserved for communication modules. So if we wanted to add in, like, say we wanted to add in a Profinet module or a Profibus module, or some other type of communication module, 101, 102, and 103 are reserved for communications modules. And then we have the ability to expand this thing, additional I/O slots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more, just for regular I/O. Digital inputs, digital outputs, analog inputs, analog outputs. While we're here, let's go ahead and I want to show you how to do it. We're going to add in a module. If you look up here, there's 3 tabs up here. We're in the device view right now. So when you're in this view, it shows you the hardware catalog on the right. You see the hardware catalog on the right? That shows you all the types of modules and hardware that can be added into your project. So let's just go to the DI folder and just grab the first one out of there. Just take it, click on it, drag it, and drop it over into one of the slots in the PLC rack.
Why do you know that?
One more time.
Mine's broken.
Is it the 8x24?
Yeah, whichever one. I'm just showing you how to add in I/O. We don't actually have any expansion I/O, right? If you look at your trainers, all we have is a PLC. The good thing about TIA Portal is there's a lot of visual stuff. It makes it real easy to like add in an input out. And Alan Bradley is a headache, or can be a headache.
You like this better than
This part of it, yeah, configuring things. But you'll see later on it gets real clunky. It's like you step back in the 60s when you start writing a lot.
So the fact that you said this part of it makes me somewhat nervous with the other parts.
So there's gonna be something in here that's wearing love beads and smoking down?
Something like that. You wonder where they were going. Go ahead and, if you're not zoomed in, let's go ahead and zoom in on the PLC. And you see the port on the front of this thing. Look at your trainer. You should have the same port on the front of that trainer. That's underneath, I guess. Yeah. But that's the Profinet port. Let's double click on the Profinet port. Just double click. And then drag up this bottom window. There's a bottom window down here. Grab that window and drag it up. That's where you set up the IP address for that port. And by default, TIA Portal sets it to this 192.168.0.1, and we're just going to leave it there. Leave it there. Since that's what we've been using. Go ahead and drag that back down.
So we're not gonna actually do anything in that, you're just showing us?
Yeah. And another good thing about TIA Portal is it will automatically assign an IP address to the port on your computer. So when you plug in, you don't have to go through the adapter settings on your computer. It'll automatically assign an IP address for you, which is kind of cool. looking at your PLC, you see this little box right here that kind of highlights when you hover over it? If you click on it, that's another area for an expansion module. It's called a signal board. So look at it on the right-hand side in your hardware catalog. See the signal board folder in your hardware catalog on the right? That's where any signal boards go. And we do have one. Look at your trainer. What kind of signal board do we have? Yeah, analog output. So let's go ahead and drop that in. AQ, and it's the only one on the list. You have to be in the signal boards folder. Just drag it, you can click on it, drag it, and drop it in. Or you can double click it. Let me show you the difference here between the two. So we have the signal board